we decided to, yes, we have decided to go with the procedure, how the charges are framed by the criminal courts. Now, before a charge is framed, now just see the definition here. In a criminal court, it is these are the magistrate or the court of sessions after the completion of the charge sheet, when charge sheet is filed, and after furnishing a copy of the same along with document to the accused, then start framing charges. Charges are nothing but accusation which the accused is supposed to know, which he is required to meet, which in the civil procedure code they are akin to the issues under the provisions of Order 14 of the Code of Civil Procedure. They are issues. What are the issues the court is likely to try? What the plaintiff and defendants are required to prove before the court of law. Similarly, in a criminal prosecution, what are the various charges the accused is called upon to face? Whether the accused has committed a murder, a robbery, a cheating, misappropriation, he should be informed that on so and so date you have committed the offense of murder by by murdering Mr. XYZ at so and so place, whether you accept the charge or not, isn't it? Then in whether there is a complaint against you of misappropriation or breach of trust, you have been acting as a trustee in a fiduciary capacity or an agent, the complainant has entrusted to you a sum of rupees so and so to be handed over, to be utilized for the management of the trust, which amount you have misappropriated for your own self. You have not utilized it for the trust purposes. Thereby you have committed the offense of misappropriation, breach of trust, acting in a fiduciary capacity. Why you should not be prosecuted and convicted for the offense under section 406, 409 of the Indian Penal Code. So the magistrate has to frame a charge like this distinctly. That is the will come before the framing of a charge. That is the provisions of yeah. You will have to know that the definition of a charge under section 2H of the खोल लीजिए CRPC section 2B. Section 2B defines charge includes an head of a charge when charge contains more head than one. This makes no sense. Nobody will understand this. I have not understood this, and what will you understand? Isn't it? आप समझ में आया ये? The charge is not explained properly at all. The expression charge is not explained here. In fact, the expression charge, I told you, is explained by the Supreme Court judgment in one of the judgment, that is Shukla's judgment. When you open, it's a beautiful explanation given by the Supreme Court, VC Shukla versus State through CBI. 1 minute. Judgment of VC Shukla. Yeah. Open कर लीजिए, because it's a very lengthy judgment and I will not be reading everything except the relevant portion with regard to charge. This is a judgment. If you can open AIR 1980 Supreme Court, page number 962, VC Shukla versus State. State through CBI respondent. It was during those Indira Gandhi and her son, what was the name, who died in the accident. What was the name of the son of Indira
Sanjay
Gandhi?
Gandhi, sir.
Sanjay Gandhi's very favorite minister he was at the time. They were subsequently, when the new government came, they were prosecuted for serious charges of corruption. That is VC Shikla. Now, this is a four-bench judgment of Justice Murtaza Fazil Ali, AP Sinha, Justice Desai, Justice AP Sen. I am not going into the entire allegation on the various accusations. The expression charge has been defined and explained by Justice Desai. Justice Desai, if you open the judgment of Justice Desai, please open. So, four-bench judgment, His Lordship Justice D.A. Desai's judgment begins from paragraph number 90, which is not a relevant part for our purposes. The relevant portion begins, what is the charge? Paragraph number 108, the खोल लीजिए. 108 says, what is the purpose or object of framing charge? Have you got it? Paragraph number 108 of Justice D.A. Desai is a concurring judgment. He is concurring with the majority view. Please say, paragraph number 108, it starts with a, what is the purpose or object in framing a charge? मिला आपको? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Paragraph number 109 check कीजिए. When the accused is brought before a court, he is supplied with copy of document referred to in section 207. And I will tell you what is 207. No sooner a charge sheet is filed, it is mandatory for the magistrate to direct the police or himself providing the entire charge sheet, the first information report, the evidence collected under section 161, evidence collected under 164, and all documents relating thereto. It should be supplied to the accused person. That is the meaning of 207. I will come to it later on. Now, these documents may contain number of matters, and the accused may at large as to what is the specific accusation he is supposed to meet. So the accused is supposed to know, because for the first time the accused is facing the trial before the court of law, before the court of sessions court or a magistrate at the time when charges are framed. Then see, charge serves the purpose of notice or intimation to the accused. Please underline this and write it down and memorize it and maintain. Charge serves the purpose of a notice or intimation to the accused, drawn up according to the specific language of law, giving clear and ambiguous or precise notice of the nature of accusation that the accused is called upon to meet in the course of the trial. So, the accused cannot be taken by surprise. The accused is supposed to know why is he facing the charges? Why is he facing the criminal trial? That is the meaning of a trial. Then thereafter, other passages are not relevant. I am not reading it for you. So, paragraph number 108, 109, please, this is the meaning of a trial, and this is the meaning of charges. And the Supreme Court in this judgment, a landmark judgment, held framing of a charge is an interlocutory order, which is not a final order. If a charge is framed or not framed, an accused person or prosecution does not have a right of appeal. A right of appeal is given only under the statute against final orders. But the Supreme Court held that a revision would lie under 397 apart from it. So it's not a final order. It's an interlocutory order or a intermediate order. I will stop it at the moment here. So that is the meaning of a charge is an accusation. A charge is an accusation. It's a notice to the accused person. So when you see the definition of section 2B, it is silent. Section 2B speaks of the head and so and so. Now, the provision relating to framing of a charge is section 210 से आ जाइए आप. Section 211, chapter number 17 say what charges are required to be framed. Now, before this section, Supreme Court had made a mention of section 207. Mean before framing of the charge or at the time of a framing of charge, accused must be supplied a copy under section 207. Please open section 207. Supply to the accused copy of the police report under 173, another document. In any cases where the proceedings have been instituted on a police report, that is under section 173, the magistrate shall without delay furnish to the accused free of cost copy of the following: number 1, police report under section 173, the first information report under 154, who is the informer; number 3, the statements recorded under subsection 3 of section 166 of all the person who the prosecution examines as its witnesses, excluding therefrom any part in regard to which a request of such exclusion has been made by the police officer under subsection 6 of section 173. So under 173 subclause 6, we learned that here the police officer can make a request to the court to withhold certain documents on the ground that they are in public interest under the provisions of Indian Evidence Act, section 123, 124. They are essential to be withheld. They are secrecy of the state, that depending upon. Barring that, the magistrate is bound to give all the documents to him. So 161 are the statements which normally the police officer records of the witnesses, apart from the first informer, the persons who are supporting the case, the persons who acted as panchanamas, the persons who are corroborative witnesses, the persons in whose presence the dead body was recovered, the persons in whose presence the police officer has made a recovery under the provisions of section 27 of the Evidence Act. These are the all evident material witnesses, because all evidence which is recorded by the police officer under section 161 is not technically evidence under the Evidence Act. That is required to be corroborated, namely those persons who have signed, who were examined by the police officer giving a notice. They should be brought to the court of law. They must take oath under the Evidence Act. They must depose before the court. Yes, we were called by the police officer. We know the facts of the case, and we know what the police had explained, and our attention is drawn to our signature in the statements. The contents are correct. When the contents are correct, then the documents will be taken as marked exhibit in the court by the court of law, taken on record exhibit, and for the purpose of reading in evidence. But in the statement, if the gentleman has produced, for example, some letters which may be Xerox copies, he said the letters are required to be proved as per the provisions of section 62, 63, 65 of the Evidence Act. That is primary and secondary evidence will come to know here. So any article which is collected, so the statements of the witnesses who were direct witnesses, a direct evidence is recorded under the provisions of the Evidence Act, that is section 59 and 60 of the Evidence Act. So they are the witnesses. That is what the section makes of clear. Then it also says that here, what the under, please come back to 207. Then say item number 4, the confession statement, if any, recorded under section 164. So normally confession statements are recorded by the police or by the learned magistrate, judicial magistrate, after giving a warning to the accused person that I am told that you wanted to make confession of the case. I hereby warn you not to make confession. If you want to make confession, you can come in trouble. That will be used against you, and you can be convicted. And whereas a recording of confession is mandatory before a police officer in rape cases. In offences against women, in outraging their modesty, wavering, acid cases, children's juvenile delinquents cases, or PASCO cases, mandatory ho gaya. So that is, we learned it here. So the statements must be furnished to the accused person under section 164, which is basically a direct evidence. In many cases, the magistrate is not required to be examined. Under the provisions of section 80 of the Evidence Act, the memorandum prepared by a judicial magistrate of the confession under section 164 is a court shall presume they are genuine, and they should be taken on record and read in evidence. So unless the accused say that I have retracted this statement, क्या बोलेंगे आप? If you are a good lawyer, a defense lawyer, क्या करेंगे आप? The very first day you engage, your client engages you, my client has allegedly been recorded confession by the magistrate. Which confession was forcefully recorded, which is not voluntary, and it has been given under duress. Please note that this is the role of a defense lawyer. Very first day you must make the application. My lord, the confession has been recorded not voluntarily. It's under duress. I am therefore retracting this statement. When you retract this statement, you will be given opportunity to cross-examine the judicial magistrate. Otherwise, if you don't retract it, the statement recorded by the judicial magistrate become final under the Evidence Act, and the court shall presume that evidence is correct. When you open section 80, you'll come to know. Section 80 खोलिए Evidence Act है, मैं बताता हूँ. सेक्शन 80 खोल लीजिए. See, presumption as to document, produce and record of evidence. यहाँ पे magistrate के बारे में कहा गया है. Whenever any document is produced before any court purported to be a record of the memorandum of evidence or any part of the evidence given by a witness in judicial proceeding, or before any officer authorized by law to take such evidence, or to the statement or confession, underline this word, by any person or accused shall, in accordance with law, the purporting to be signed by any judge or a magistrate or by such officer, the court shall presume that the document is genuine. So if you don't challenge, this memorandum prepared by the magistrate or a judge will become, it will go against the accused person. So please note that this is very important. You must bear in mind. Yeah. Then come back to 207. Yeah. After one, yeah. Then item number 5 check karo aap. Any other document or relevant extract thereof forwarded to the magistrate with the police report under subsection 5 of 173. So subsection 5 of 173 speaks of when such report is in respect of which 170 applies. That is, the police has taken cognizance. The police officer shall forward to the magistrate a report document thereof which, and the magistrate during investigation 161, and document which are withholding. So that is already come, all evidence. Now item number सब check कीजिए. Then provided that magistrate may, after perusing any such part of the statement refer to, consider the reason given by the police officer for the request directing the copy of the part of the statement shall be furnished to the accused person. So the magistrate may reject the objection of the police officer with regard to the document being a privileged document, a document being a secretive document, falling within the ambit of section 123, 124, 125 of the Evidence Act. Magistrate may accept and give it. Magistrate may withhold it, that is his discretion. But the accused has a right to go ahead and challenge it in the superior courts or revisional court if such a document is valid here. Then lastly, check karo. Provided further, if the magistrate is satisfied any document so and so is voluminous, he shall, instead of furnishing the accused with a copy, direct that it will only be allowed to inspect it, either inspection or through pleader in the court. So when the record is voluminous, the court may say that in such as bomb blast cases or conspiracy cases against the state, the record is very heavy, maybe running into 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 pages. See, the court may say that instead of having copies, you take inspection. You take inspection, you take Xerox copies. It may not be possible because this is also possible. But if you so insist, the magistrate has no other choice, he is bound to give. Because you can take up the plea, accused person, my defense will be, I will not be in a position to meet proper defense unless and until the entire documents are given to me. Similarly, under the provisions of Code of Civil Procedure, you will find the provision of document under Order 11, Rule 14. Such document must be furnished to the plaintiff or defendant. If the documents are not given, you cannot prepare your defense, you cannot prepare your evidence. So, this provision is of the provisions of section 173 subclause 5 or akin to when you open the provisions of प्लीज ओपन सीपीसी भी खोल लो थोड़ा, याद रह जाएगा आपको. ऑर्डर 11 रूल 14 खोल लीजिए. When you can ask for inspection, when they can be denied, when order 11, see discovery inspection order 11 आ गया, dispensary, see order 11 rule 13 में you have to file affidavit of documents, both the parties, protection of document 14, then see 15, 11, 15, inspection of document referred to in pleading and affidavit. So both the plaintiff and defendant before the commencement of a trial must exercise this option, complete the document, and inspection is given under order 14. And despite ordering inspection, and if you don't produce it, you will be prohibited from using it in cross examination. See order 21, order 11 rule 21 check here, non-compliance with order of discovery. When the party fails to comply with the answer interrogatory discovery, for want of inspection, defendant will, if any such, defendant will be struck off and the suit be placed for inspection so and so, and notice to the parties will be given opportunity. When the order is so and so, the suit, if the plaintiff doesn't give, his suit can be dismissed. The defendant doesn't give, his defendants can be struck off. So that is the because this is, every party has a right to meet other party's case. So this is also a procedure of completing inspection in the CPC before framing of the issues under the provisions of order 14. Just open order 14 CPC. I am comparing to you both provisions which will be handy to you. Order 14 में आ जाइए. Yeah. Statement of issue, determination of suit on the issues of law, issues of relied upon. So after the completion of the inspection, filing of the affidavit, in the civil cases, the court will frame the issues. So I will take it up this topic later on. Let us complete this is just drawing your attention today. Today I will complete the criminal part. Then I will take it up here to do it, second lecture maybe tomorrow, and how the issues are framed, why they are framed, from where they are framed, the purpose of framing, whether preliminary issues are framed or not, how a person can deal with it, how evidence is led, whether the court records evidence or not. At this stage we'll see. So come back to section 207 CRPC. So the magistrate under 207 directs that no sooner charge sheet is filed, accused must be supplied with all the documents. This is with a view to prepare his defense in the trial. Then 208 speaks of a case when the case is triable by a court of session and case is instituted otherwise than in a police report. So you know that here under the provisions of section 225 onwards, we learned in CRPC, session trial, warrant triable cases, everything. Now let us see that here. Now 208 पे आ जाइए. Where in a case instituted otherwise than on a police report, that is section 244 to 250. When in a warrant case is triable by the magistrate issuing process under section 204. So magistrate issues process 205, 204 after being convinced under section 200, that is recording the verification statement and examining witness, the case is made out, or he will postpone the issue of process, issue order under 202, direct investigation by the police, or hold an inquiry by the magistrate, or he will hold investigation through private detective. Then session court, the magistrate shall without delay furnish free of cost copy of each following. Number one, statement recorded under 200. So under 200, when a private complaint is filed under section 190 subclause A or subclause B or C, the magistrate takes cognizance under 200 when they record the statement of the accused of the complainant and admits the case, issues process. Or second option, in the 200, he will examine the persons and also hold inquiry or investigation of the police or investigation through private detective. Those documents must be given to then after that the magistrate issues process under 204. Those documents should be given. Then the statement confession of any under 161, 164. 161 are statement recorded by a police officer or various witnesses. 164 are a statement of witnesses recorded by the magistrate, namely confessions. Confession under 164, under the Evidence in Act, section 24, 25, 26 tells you a police officer cannot record confession. He is debarred from recording confession of the accused because he is not trusted by the parliament legislature. He is an interested person. He is bound to be prejudiced and biased against the accused person. He is created a situation that as if the accused has committed a blunder, and others he will not give a clean chit to the police officer, to the accused person. Whereas the magistrate, being a judicial officer, will apply his judicial mind. So magistrate is more trusted in preference to police officer because police officer is the investigating authority. A person investigation, he would be interested in getting a good report from his seniors. Yes, my police officer had done a good job in conducting proper investigation and also convicting the accused. But magistrate is not interested in it. Technically speaking, even the police officer is required to be not biased. He is supposed to be an officer he is supposed to be a fair officer. His duty is collection of the evidence and pass it on. Beyond that, he should not be interested in whether the accused is guilty or not. It is the job of the court to see whether he is guilty or not. But unfortunately, you know that the police becomes more than interested in the matter. As if they take it up very personally, as if they are fighting their own litigation. Very unfortunate. That should not happen. Like a public prosecutor is an officer of the court, and he should not identify with the prosecution. He is supposed to assist the court. He is not supposed to go out of the way and support the prosecution and get the man convicted by hook or crook. That is not the role of a police officer, and that is also not the role of a public prosecutor. Their role is basically helping the court in the administration of justice, in finding out the truth, the veracity otherwise of the allegation against the accused person. That is what it here. Then item number 3, all documents before the magistrate on which prosecution rely upon. Then provided the magistrate satisfied any such document is voluminous, certain documents inspection can be taken. So this is mandatory. This 207, 208 come into play after the police officer filing the charge sheet. Then the magistrate will decide if the case is triable by the court of session, he cannot frame charges. Because under the scheme of the CRPC, you learned that section 225 onwards, हम लोग देखेंगे, 225 onward, it is the court of session that frames the judge. That is chapter number 18 के अंदर the session court frame the charges. So under 209, the role of the magistrate is, if the case is triable by the court of session, maybe robbery case, maybe a murder case, maybe an acid throwing case, maybe a very robbery, any case which is triable by the court of session. So what will he do? He will commit the proceeding. He will commit the proceeding under section 209, 309, 209, which also under section 323. 323 speaks of a case. I had spoken where the procedure after commencement of inquiry, trial, magistrate case they find to be committed. In any inquiry into any offence or trial before a magistrate appears at the stage of a proceeding before the signing of the judgment, it ought to be tried by the court of session. He shall commit the same to the court of session. So the matter is sent back to the court of session by the magistrate for framing charges. Okay. So 20, the role is section 173 के बाद 20, 207, 208, 209. So when this is done, then framing of a charge will come. If the charge is triable by a court of session, please note that it will become a session triable case. That will start from section 225 से लेकर 225 से लेकर 237. Now framing of a charge before a court of session is section 228. Before coming here, the various powers I am telling you, the court of session frame charges power are section 228, whereas the role of a magistrate in warrant cases, charges are framed under section 240 CRPC. Please note that. Only in the court of session trial and trial of warrant cases by magistrate, both in a police, in a report on a police, also than otherwise police, otherwise on a private complaint, charges are framed. Otherwise cases is a section where the charges are framed. Is a section 240. Please note that there are no charges are framed. There are no charges applicable in summons cases. In summon cases, section 251 check karo aap. It will not be necessary to frame a primal charge. Please section 251 check karo. It's a summon triable case, whereas the private complaint cases falling under section 190 ABC. यहाँ के अंदर summon cases which is punishable less than 2 years, there is no need to frame a formal charge. Similarly, in a cases summary trial, starting from 260 onwards, framing of a charge is not necessary. Because they are summary in nature. So framing of a charge is mandatory and compulsory in session triable cases. Okay. Then number 2, before a trial before a magistrate, in warrant cases, that is section 238, charges are framed under the provisions of section 240. Okay. So you learned the various provision and the various trial. Now let us come to what exactly the format of a charge. Please open section 211. content of a charge. Every charge under this code shall see the offences which the head is charged. Number one, if the law which create the offence gives any specific name, the offence may be described in the charge by that name only. Mean, if the offence says it is a cheating by impersonation, it's a homicide not amounting to murder. So those are the names which are required to be used at the time of the framing of a charge. Item number 3. If the law which create the offence does not give any specific name, so much the definition of the offence must be stated and give the accused notice of the matter which is charged. So under the provisions of subsection 3 to 11, the intention of the legislature is that the accused must get to know what is the charge, why is he charged for. तो reason क्या है frame करने का charge? Why is he standing charge? Okay, item number 4, the law and section of the law against which the offence is said to have been committed shall be mentioned in the charge. See, normally you learned in civil cases, pleading के अंदर at the time when you are writing your plain written statement, law is not supposed to be mentioned. You are not required to mention law in the civil pleading. But now in the cases of a criminal case, at the time of a framing charge, you are required to mention the law against which offence the charge is sought to be framed. That is subsection 4. The fact that the charge is equivalent to statement every legal condition required by the law to constitute the offence charge was fulfilled in any particular case. Item number 7. If the accused, having been previously convicted of any offence, is liable by reason of the previous conviction to enhanced punishment or the punishment of different kinds subsequent and so, is intended to provide such previous conviction for the purpose of affecting the punishment, which may think afterwards, the fact, date of the place of previous conviction shall be stated in charge, and such a statement has been omitted, court may add it. Now the reason why subsection 7 requirement is to be closed, that is, you mention about the previous conviction, so the accused may be in a position to take up the plea of double jeopardy, isn't it? Once has been convicted for one offence, he cannot be tried for the same offence again. The police officers must be taken up. He is a habitual offender. He has committed such offence previously in the past. Serious action should be taken. So that should be framed here. Now the illustrations, you see that here. A is charged. You can remind me when 45 minutes time is over. We can stop. A is charged with the murder of B. This is equivalent to a statement that A's act fell within the definition of a murder under section 299 and 300 IPC. That it did not fall within any of the general exception of the code, and it did not fall within any of the 5 exception to 300. And if it did fall within the exception of any other provision to the definition applied to it. So here, when any of the exceptions apply, means suppose accused take up the plea that here, yes, murder has been committed. It was on account of sudden and grave provocation. That has to be stated. That I was suffering from insanity at the time. That has to be taken up and stated. I was a child below 7 years, 17 years, or any of the exceptions under the Indian Penal Code, starting from section 80 onwards. You know that here, the general exceptions into the Indian Penal Code, they must be mentioned. You should know that here, especially when you are appearing for defense. Please note that you keep track of the general exceptions in the Indian Penal Code, which will be commencing from the provisions of section 76 onwards. Chapter number 4, general exception. The acts and accidental, 80 के अंदर accidental doing lawful act. If a police officer had done the act or a doctor has performed operation, it's a misfortune, a person dies. In such a scenario, you can take up the defense. Or a police officer, while escorting the accused person from jail to police, he dies. So he cannot be blamed. It is a misfortune. Then all this X82, 83, 84, unsoundness, child, you are head in the first year. Is an act intended to cause death by consent in good faith. Under section 88, doctor takes a signature at the time of the operation from the patient. It's a very serious, complicated operation. So you are giving consent. The doctor, despite using best diligence and effort, the patient dies. Then he is not responsible. It is not a death. It's a culpable homicide not amounting to murder or accidental death, isn't it? So those should be stated in the charges here. Then 89, 90, 90, act done in good faith for the benefit of a person without consent. Now, sometime happens, suppose a right situation such maybe a riot is taking place, maybe some calamity has struck, a child is a trap in a debris, he should be immediately perform operation. His parents are playing a football match, hockey match. One of the player is seriously injured. Head injury requires immediate operation, and his parents cannot be intimated. Huh? He will tell. He cannot be immediate. Then the doctor can perform the operation without the consent. If God forbid anything happens, the doctor cannot be blamed. So these are the various exception. That is what the meaning of the illustration A. Illustration B में आ जाइए आप. A is charged under section 326 of the Indian Penal Code with voluntarily causing grievous hurt by means of an instrument for shooting. This is equivalent to statement that he was not provided by section 335 of the code, and that the general exception did not apply. So it can be taken up the plea that here the case does not fall under general exception. He should be prosecuted for that year. Even section 335 of the IPC, which speaks of yes, see section 335, if we can remember what it is now. Section 335 check कर लीजिए आप जरा. Yeah, voluntarily causing grievous hurt on provocation. So again, the provocation is a ground here which can be taken. I had to beat him, he provoked me, he abused me. So the lighter punishment is given here in that behalf. Please bear in mind the Indian Penal Code provision when you are conducting trial, when you are giving also answers in the examination. It is just not sufficient to know CRPC, but should also know the IPC and the Indian Evidence Act provision. Then last is A is charged under section 184 of the Indian Penal Code with intentionally obstructing a sale of property offered for the sale by lawful authority of a public servant. The charge should be in those words. So when you see under section 184, in a civil court, when in a civil court, decree is passed against the accused, against the defendant. His property is put up for auction sale. When his property is put up for auction sale, and you are a purchaser, you are a bona fide purchaser. When you are purchasing, the defendant's people come and attack you. That why have you purchased this property? Then whoever intentionally obstruct any sale of property offered for any sale by lawful authority of a public servant shall be punished with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 1 month. So the court receiver, High Court Bombay, is putting up for sale. When sale is put up here, you know the defendants or anybody else or his agents cannot stop the court receiver, High Court Bombay, or a auction purchaser from buying the property. Because you are not paid your taxes, the property has been attached by the municipal corporation, and in execution your property is sold, it is legitimately being done. So such a charge must be specifically framed in this matter.
Sir, we should take a break in 4 minutes.
Okay. Anybody wants to have any question? We'll stop it here after this. Anybody has any question from so far we discussed in section 207, 208, 209 and so 2011. कोई क्वेश्चन पूछने का है किसी को? If there is no question, we'll come after the question, then we'll start from 212 onwards. Okay? We can have a break for about 5 to 6 or maximum 10 minutes. Isn't it? किसी क्वेश्चन पूछने का है इसके अंदर? Anybody has any question, please ask. It looks like everybody has understood. Kumar, there is no questions. So we'll stop it here now. We'll stop here. We'll come back in 10 minutes. Okay? Okay. See you. 200